gentlemen, welcome to our new venture of sorts. It's a mini series. That's what I'm going to call it. Our first mini series here for AWI Pod. It's a cup of UK heritage. I, of course, am Brent Piles. And if we're talking about the UK, then there's only one person that's with AWI Pod that we could ever bring on or start a show with if we're talking about the UK. And that's Glenn Abbott, J. Russell Nutt. Glenn, how you doing?
Yes, boy.
Yes.
Very good.
Our boys got drafted to SmackDown, too, so we're very excited about that.
Oh, we're going to get the Usos against Pretty Deadly. Oh,
I like it.
How good is that going to be?
So, like, the weird thing about, I know we're not here to talk about that, but, like, the weird thing about the WWE draft is, like, so the undisputed tag team champions are technically on Raw. So, does that mean they stay on Raw? Are we going to get new tag team champions, too, or?
I would think that would be the case. I would think they would stop being undisputed. Well, they're still calling Roman the undisputed Universal title. So there must be a way that they're going to introduce a new tag belt to SmackDown.
So to tell me if you think this is a crazy idea, but I think that they should keep it like this. They should have just a men's tag team division on Raw and a women's tag team division on SmackDown. So you have tag team titles on each brand. You just have different genders. I think that's the best way to do it.
That is an excellent.
Pick them all on each show. I think it's a great way to do it.
That is an excellent way to do it. Yes.
Because we don't have enough male tag teams and we don't have enough female tag teams. And if we put them all just in one show, I think it'll be better.
Yeah.
We'll still only have 4 women's tag teams, but it'll be better than 1 and 2 that we throw together to make a feud.
Which actually brings us nicely back to where we should be.
Right.
Because back in the day, they didn't bother with a women's tag title for the UK. They used to throw the women together occasionally, but normally they'd have singles matches. But with the men, they were looking for a second title as opposed to the NXT UK title. So they introduced us to the Heritage Cup. To all intents and purposes, is a big cup.
It is a giant cup, yes.
It's a giant cup.
And other than maybe one guy, they didn't put it on any particular. They didn't give it to any particularly large man. There was only one guy who was probably a big guy that had this giant cup. So.
Yes. The week before it all kicks off, we have this. We got Sid Scala, Johnny Saint, and Pete Dunne in the ring with Nigel McGuinness, and they introduce us to the contestants for this Heritage Cup, which I'll allow you, as you only just been picking up on this sort of thing, to explain the rules.
The rules for the tournament are as follows. Matches in the Heritage Cup are conducted in 6 by 3-minute rounds. There will be 20-second breaks between each round. All matches are 2 out of 3 falls. Falls are won by pinfall, submission, or countout. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. Once one competitor has won 2 falls, they are declared the winner and they advance in the tournament. In the event of a disqualification or knockout, the match ends. Whoever is ahead on falls, should the match go to the full 6 rounds, wins.
Luckily, they didn't say anything about it reviving a contestant with a flask of alcohol or anything, as we'll see as we go down the line.
I wanted to ask you, Glenn, so like you grew up, and watching rounds matches because that's just what you guys did over there. Does this pretty much stay to the typical rules of a good British rounds match, or did they kind of change it a little?
No, basically it was that. It was obviously. To be fair, I can't even say that the old matches were more mat-based because there's a lot of good mat-based wrestling, as we'll see in just what we've watched tonight. As somebody who should not be named once said when we were reviewing them the first time round for a piece of business, no 2 Heritage Cup matches are the same, and that's what makes it so interesting. And we've got 4 here, and not one of them is the same.
Yeah, that's why I found it so interesting when I first started watching Heritage Cup matches. There's literally an unlimited amount of ways of how these matches can not only also go, but finish too. There's many ways that these things can be a finish, and a lot of the finishes are going to leave you shocked. You're going to go, "Oh my God, did that just happen?" And that's the
Yeah.
best thing about wrestling for me is when you get shocked, and that's the best thing about Heritage Cup matches is usually come to a very shocking end. And some of the best finishes I've seen in wrestling, and I've been watching it for a long time, came in some of these matches. So yeah, that's why we're both really excited to go back and watch them all over again, because a lot of these I haven't seen. I've seen some, but a lot of them I haven't. Like this first round tournament that we're going to look at, I'd never seen any of these matches. So
Well, that's why we're doing this, because when you said you were going to go back and watch it, I thought, why waste the opportunity to let people know what you think about it?
So yeah, the first of the first round matches we got, Pete Dunwood's going to be the special guest referee in this match, because during the drawing where they drew to see who would face who, these two kind of got into it a little bit, and Pete Dunne had to kind of threaten the fingers of Noam Dar because he got a little out of pocket, as Noam Dar can do quite often. As we go through these Heritage Cup matches, we will find out more and more. So it's Noam Dar taking on Alexander Wolfe, and Alexander Wolfe is the forgotten member of Imperium. He was also Insanity, right?
He was. He just disappeared when Sanity broke up.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't think he was long for the WWE World, even on NXT UK, because I'm pretty sure they release him in 2020 when this all takes place. So I don't think he's long for the World.
No.
Yeah, and as most of these matches are, the first round is kind of a feeling out process.
I love Noam Dar, though. Even the early stages, every time that Wolf went anywhere near him, he'd back off and fend him off and play the real chicken shit heel.
Yeah, back into the corner. Yeah, grab the ropes, anything he could do. My favorite part of the first round was it's coming down to like the final 15 seconds or whatever. Noam Dar grabs Wolf, flips him down, and just gives him just a little kick right to the chest, and then just backs into the corner, which I thought that was really, really good. Because it wasn't like the
timing.
kick, it was just enough of a kick to let me know that I was there to piss you off right before the bell rang, and I just thought that was so great.
Well, you think about it, because of the fact that you can lose by disqualification,
right?
Especially with somebody like Alexander Wolfe, it's a perfect thing to do, is to wind him up into the fact of getting him to hit you after the bell or something and get himself disqualified.
Right, and he almost did get him to get disqualified a couple times during this thing by doing just shit like that. And Noam Dar, like, he has like a lot of smaller guys don't have the ability to like trade blows with a guy like Alexander Wolfe and make you believe that it's believable. But I think Noam Dar, like a Shawn Michaels, kind of has that ability to be able to stand there and trade blows with a guy like that, and you actually believe that he's doing it. So I thought that was really good. I think that took place in the second round.
That did. And then we got into the third, where, as you say, it was at the end of the third round, Wolf gives Dar such a slap, reaches round the referee and whacks him in the mouth. But to be fair to old Noam, he comes straight back at the beginning of the fourth and gets the first pin. Yeah, I think it took Wolf by surprise, the fact that he took the slap and just came straight back at him.
There was something that was going on too, where Dar was like stomping Wolf's feet. He would like Wolf had him in something, he would stomp on his toes, and the commentators were kind of asking like, is the referee gonna to qualify him here or do something here? And they're like, it's Pete Dunne. He breaks fingers and stomps on him all the time. You think he fucking cares? He don't care.
No.
He does not care.
I forgot about this, but Nigel McGuinness in these early days absolutely drove me mad with all the name dropping that he did.
Oh God, he was like Mauro Ranallo. He like took Mauro's gimmick and just ran with
it. Yeah. Oh, that's just yeah, he was. Even some that I didn't recognize, and I thought I knew my British wrestling history pretty well.
Right. And then Dar hit what they called a North Shore backslide for a 2 count. Was that made famous by Johnny Saint? I'm just wondering.
It was.
Okay.
Apparently, according to Nigel McGuinness, anyway.
I didn't know because he had said, "Oh, shades of Johnny Saint," but I wasn't sure if he meant the backslide or like the move that he did before that. So I wasn't 100%.
That was the backslide, yeah.
Which was a beautiful backslide, and that got him a 2 count. But then Dar kind of like Alexander Wolfe went for a fireman's carry, and Dar kind of used his momentum against him and used a roll up, and he got the 3 count for the lead in the second round. I think it was right.
Yeah, that's right. In the second round. Sorry, I jumped ahead because we were talking about Wolf losing his rag.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Wolf came out, in this third round, not playing around as most people would, with there being down 1 fall. They kind of that's when they they trade fisticuffs to the end of the third round, and that's when Dar slaps the shit out of him. But right after the bell rings, and then Dar comes flying out of the corner. He kicks him off his feet. He lands a big kick and a back. He had another like a back spinning elbow that was fucking beautiful during this exchange too.
I tell you what, there was, and Wolf did a German suplex. He launched Dar across the ring. He flew.
Yeah, I got that in my notes too. That he hit him with a beautiful German suplex. He hit him with a big boot and then a beautiful German suplex. And then I believe Alexander Wolfe hit wasn't it a perfect plus or a fisherman suplex for the the pin?
Fisherman's buster for the pin.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. And then we went into round 5, which was really good. Yeah, and finally, I can't even remember how he got it now. Dar gets the win.
So like he went for like a roll up, but he was by the rope and he tried to reach out and grab the rope, but Pete Dunne caught him.
Pete Dunne kicks him off.
Then, then Dunne like kicked his foot off, and then Dunne was kind of looking over at Wolfe just to kind of look at him, and then here comes fucking Noam Dar out of nowhere. He flies over Pete Dunne, kicks Alexander Wolfe right in the face, and gets the 1, 2, 3, and he is moving on to the second round. I mean, Noam Dar is absolutely built for Heritage Cup matches, and that's why he's the best Heritage Cup champion ever, because he's absolutely built for it. He was magical at this match.
It's a shame that poor old Shaw, his dubious history wouldn't allow him to get a work permit for the States, because to have him in his corner would be brilliant.
Yeah, we're going to get to some Shaw Samuel and Noam Dar together, and yeah, they were absolutely great. The next first round match was Flash Morgan Webster taking on A-Kid. And Glenn, I think we've seen this A-Kid before, haven't we?
There was a similarity to a guy on NXT called Axiom.
Noticed that. He gets into the ring kind of the same way.
Yeah, a lot of the moves are very similar as well.
It's almost as if it's him under that mask, maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You'll be saying that Hulk Hogan was Mr. America next.
That's a good point. You're right. We don't want to go that far. We don't want to unlock that wrestling conspiracy theory box, Glenn. We don't want to do that.
No.
Lots of match wrestling in this opening round feeling out process, which I thought was really, really good.
Yep, it was from these two. You'd expect them to be bouncing around like a box of gerbils right from the beginning, but no. They got down to it, and they showed that they could wrestle.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when you think of Flash Morgan Webster, you look at the gimmick and stuff like that and don't think that maybe he's the best, mat wrestler or whatever, but he proved in this match that he can fucking go. Which, I mean, you and I both know what Flash Morgan Webster can do, but from the raw eye of seeing him, I just don't know if a lot of people would be able to take it seriously, you know what I mean?
That's right. He doesn't look that. To anybody that just watch highlights and that sort of thing, just think he does a lot of flippy shit, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. And he proved in this one that, especially in this first round, there was no flippy shit. It was just a lot of mat wrestling.
Okay, these rounds perfectly timed. All credit to the guys. They know what they're doing in there. Where Flash had A-Kid. And it bats a 1-2, and the bell rings.
Yep. Yeah, they did really good. Flash Morgan Webster gets the first fall in the second round where he reverses A-Kid's pinning combination with his own pinning combination and takes a 1-0 lead on the old A-Kid. The pace of this match started to pick up a little bit in the second and third rounds, though. I thought it was a different sort of pace than what we saw in the Noam Dar Alexander Wolfe match.
Yeah, this is where they started to get a bit more bouncy.
Right. What they're known for.
Again, still lots of hip tosses, arm bars, and not getting away from classic wrestling, but just throwing in a bit more of the modern stuff with it.
Right. Which is the perfect combination.
It is.
Yeah, A-Kid hits a fisherman suplex that would have made Mr. Perfect proud. Flash Morgan Webster hits a reverse run on A-Kid, but that was when Glenn said where he got saved by the bell there in the third round. Webster hits a huge kick to the face to start the fourth round. And then Flash heads up to the top, but A-Kid catches him with the drop kick and then hits the Spanish fly. And then a huge super kick for the 3 count, and that ties it up at 1 fall apiece, heading into the 5th round. I think I enjoyed the 5th round the most. What did you think?
Yeah, yes, definitely. Because again, it is that sort of mat base. Again, you wouldn't think it from these two, but they're both going for submission holds.
Right? Yeah. That's not what you would expect, but it's what happened. Yeah. There's a lot of hard hitting strikes, a lot of reversals, a lot of submissions, a lot of reversals of submissions. It was just a lot of fun to watch.
I've got that in my notes that it was hard hitting that 5th round. They did lay it into each other.
Yeah, by that point I think they were just lighting up each other at that point. They said, "Fuck it, let's just fight."
Yeah. And then, surprise, surprise, A-Kid gets the win by a submission.
I know. Who would have thought it? Yeah, Flash Morgan Webster hit like a suicide dive. He tries to get back into the ring and go for a swanton bomb, but he misses, and A-Kid kind of rolls him into an arm bar. He tries to roll out, but A-Kid didn't. I think it was a crucifix that he locked him in, right? To get him.
That's right, yeah.
Locked him, tapped him out with the crucifix. This was a really, really good match. Like I said, that 5th round was spectacular. I really enjoyed it.
Yep. And it just sort of sums up what the sort of wrestling was like for NXT UK. And it's a shame more people didn't catch on to it early enough. They seem to be now that all of a sudden the NXT's filling with all these stars from NXT UK.
Not even just NXT, but they're coming up to Raw and SmackDown. You got Isla Dawn.
They are now. They're moving up.
Pretty Deadly. Jordan Devlin's on. No, I'm sorry. He's not Jordan Devlin anymore, but he used to be.
Lady Madonna. JD Madonna.
JD Madonna, yeah. Children at his feet. Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
The next match was the biggest man in the tournament taking on the man in the tournament with the most punchable face. It's Dave Mastiff taking on Joseph Connors. You can't tell me that Joseph Connors' face isn't punchable.
No.
Yeah.
You tried to say there was no point in telling Dave Mastiff that either, because he was going to punch it.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah. Dave Mastiff.
He did hang around.
I've never really seen Connors wrestle because when I watched NXT UK, he was basically just like Ginny's lackey.
Yeah.
That was like all he was doing at that point. And I was like, why is Ginny with this rat-faced motherfucker? I just didn't understand it. Why is she with this Lord of the Rings looking motherfucker? What I thought. But I like Joseph Connors was like putting in arm bars, but he was like really slapping. He was really slapping the arms in, like doing it and really just slapping the arm.
Yeah.
Which I just thought that was really cool because you don't see that very often of guys really putting that extra stank on it like he was doing it. So I really like that. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. This big 2 meaty men slapping meat. What more can you say about it?
Basically. They also told us that Dave Mastiff used to be a school teacher, and could you I'm not acting up in that class. I'll tell you right now.
Jeez.
Mr. Mastiff will throw you out the window.
Yeah. Jesus.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. You're not going to take any nonsense, is he?
No, I'm not gonna do. I'm not
Um,
acting up in that class. Absolutely not.
And this does exactly what it needed to. It was a quick match. Because, as you say, Joseph Connors has got a very punchable face. Dave Mastiff punched him in the face and then followed it up once he was staggering around by a vicious forearm that knocked him senseless.
And that might be why I never saw Joseph Connors wrestle in NXT UK because of that elbow from Dave Mastiff.
It might well have been.
And I think
I'm
his
still
bell
not
is
sure.
already rung. I think his bell's already rung
Yeah,
because Mastiff slapped the shit out of him at the end of the third round.
I'm not sure if that was actually legit that he had his bell rang. He was doing a good job of staggering around if he was selling it.
Yeah. It looked like it hurt. That's for goddamn sure.
Mm.
I also thought it was funny during this match. They mentioned that Michael Cole said that Joseph Connors was his dark horse to win the inaugural NXT title tournament, and that now Joseph Connors is trying to live up to whatever what ambitions Michael Cole has for him, which I just thought that was really funny that they brought up Michael Cole and Joseph Connors.
Well, that's because the original inaugural NXT UK tournament, Michael Cole was part of it.
Oh right,
before
he was. He was a commentator.
Yeah,
him and Nigel, I think it was.
It was him and Nigel before NXT UK took off.
And like me and Glenn have said about how none of these matches are similar. We had one end by pinfall, we've had one end by submission, and we've had one end by knockout. So we have seen 3 different finishes in 3 different matches, which I think is great. The last one was Trent Seven taking on Kenny Williams, who isn't quite a cockroach just yet, is he?
Neither of these two characters are what they became, are they?
Not at all. Not even a little.
Because you first of all you get babyface Seven come to the ring and do all his shenanigans, which seemed a bit daft because this was during COVID time, so there was no crowds.
I mean, this is one of the second or third show actually in the BT Sports Arena, isn't it?
Yeah,
because they had been
like
for
that. It's about the third show.
Just showing recap shows, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I thought.
It's been a long while since they'd actually had a show.
Right. So the feeling out process in this opening round was sort of more of a respectful sort of getting back to the old traditional stuff, because there was handshakes, there were clean breaks in the ropes that maybe you didn't see necessarily in the first few matches. But I think this is the only one that was really a babyface versus babyface. They were all, well, I guess Flash Morgan and A-Kid are both babyfaces, aren't they?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and they did shake hands and have a hug at the end, as they do when you have two baby faces. If you look at Kenny Williams there, to what he became, it shows how good he was with that cockroach character.
Oh, that cockroach character was great. He was just so slimy and gross. After you watch him, you want to take a shower.
That's right. And you would never have thought it, just looking at this match.
Yeah, because he had some really cool Jordans on, too, which I noticed.
Yeah.
They were like purple. They were awesome. I thought they were cool. Second round started with Trent Seven trying to kind of slow the quicker of Kenny Williams down, but Kenny Williams started to pick up the pace, hitting some faster pace moves at about the 1.5-minute mark in the second round. Trent hits 2 big headbutts while Kenny is on the ropes, and then what I really liked is he tried to go for a third one, and Kenny just kind of jumped over the top of him, which I thought was a pretty cool sort of way to counter the headbutt to the stomach. I thought that was pretty cool. And then we had no falls in this match, even into the third round. So the first 2 rounds we went with no falls. I think that was the first one of the matches that didn't have any falls within the first 2 rounds.
First 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. Yep. They were just good technical wrestling.
Yep. They did a lot of good mat wrestling in the third round, a lot of transition to submission wrestling, really good stuff in the third round.
Trent Seven doing a bit of what he's notorious for, the hefty slaps.
Yes, there were a lot of hefty slaps in this one. Absolutely, yes, a lot of vicious slaps. I put that in my note too. Then Trent Seven hits the stiff lariat to get the first fall in the fourth round. I'm sorry, in the third round as we head into the fourth round.
Third round. Yeah, the fourth round, he hits that Snapdragon suplex, which Kenny landed right on his head. Credit to Kenny Williams that he got up from that.
Yeah, that looked a little stiff. A little stiff, yeah. A little stiff dragon suplex on Kenny. Kenny opens up the fourth round with some quick transitions and dependent combinations as he's trying to catch back up, as one would do if they were down one fall. He gets him a couple of near falls, but then he ends up locking Trent Seven in a roll up finally, and he gets him. He ties him up 1-1. I think it was pretty early on in the round too, where he finally did get the pin.
Yeah.
After he tried about 5 times, he finally figured out a way to keep his shoulders down for the 3 count. Which makes a lot of sense when the psychology of that is if you're down one fall, you're going to scramble as quick as you can to try to get that fall back. So I think that psychology of that makes a whole lot of sense. And so
that's it, because you make another mistake and you're out of there.
Nigel does a great job on commentary of putting over the fact that like when you're down one fall, you want a sense of urgency, but you also don't want to go crazy because if you screw up again, it's over for you. So
that's it.
I think both of the guys, Andy Shepherd and Nigel McGuinness, were really, really good on commentary together. I just thought they were one of the better commentary teams that the company had at that point, and it's a shame they let them both go.
Yeah, I was going to say they missed a trick by letting them both go. When you consider what we've got now on NXT, Nigel McGuinness would have been such a better fit than Booker T.
Absolutely. Real hard-hitting start to the fourth round as both men are hitting some big moves, and Kenny Williams almost picks up a victory after he hits a pretty nice spinning DDT reversal on Trent Seven, which I thought was a really cool move. Trent makes his way up to the middle turnbuckle, which you don't see very often from old Trent Seven. You don't see him climbing the rope. So I thought that was interesting. And I think that's how that led to the finish of the match, didn't it?
It did, because Kenny climbed over him and then gives him a hurricanrana, but Trent rolls through with it and jackknifed him and covered him. It was a jackknife cover, as Nigel McGuinness called it.
Right.
Which I'm assuming means he just sort of put him down on his shoulders and leant on his legs very heavily.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Trent Seven took that ample-sized belly that he's got and laid it on Kenny Williams' legs and kept him down for the 3 count. A very, like I said, a very snap ending to the match and another great finish to another great match. I would dare to say that one was my favorite one of all the first round matches. Was that one? It's close between that one and Dar versus Alexander Wolfe. Those were probably my 2 favorite ones from the first round.
So in summary, your first look at the Heritage Cup, what's your overall feeling on it?
I mean, I absolutely loved it. I loved every single match. I loved the psychology in every single match. I loved that every match had a different sort of finish. It was great. I mean, I expected to go into it loving it, and it was everything that I expected it to be. Absolutely.
We're going to get a bad reputation here, between this Raw from '97. We're actually watching some decent wrestling.
Yeah, well, I guess you got to branch out sometime, and we've done that. But don't you worry, everybody. If you want to get your fill of us saying stupid shit, you can check out the Mayor of Superstars or AEW IPod Worldwide. They come out on alternating Sundays. This week, you'll be getting an episode of AEW iPod Worldwide. Last time, you got an episode of the Mayor of Superstars. And that is going to do it, I think. You got anything you need to add on this first episode, Glenn?
No. I'm just I'm really glad that I thought you would, because to come into it so late and get hooked on NXT UK. So I thought going back that you would enjoy it, and I'm glad you did.
Absolutely. It was great stuff.
So
I miss NXT NXT UK. I miss those Thursdays. Absolutely. I mean, it took a big chunk out of my week, Glenn. I miss it so much.
Apart from that, there's no point in plugging anything tonight because we'll be doing it all again tomorrow. So
that's right. Well, check out the newest episode of Warring the Attitude because it came out the day before this one because it's Wednesday today when you're looking at this. That came out on Tuesday. Make sure you give our other co-host, the Mayor of Canton, a follow on Twitter at Mayor of Canton, and check out the Meal with the Mayor every Wednesday as he eats something that's probably not good for you but tastes fucking delicious. Or sometimes it doesn't taste good and then he goes on a rant, which is my favorite ones. My favorite ones is when it's shit food and he goes crazy. That's my favorite.
He enjoyed those chicken nuggets too much.
He did
this week.
You did. And plus, like, the Mayor's a really positive person. So I don't see him get angry very often. So when he does get angry, I don't know why. I just get a kick out of it.
I love because you could tell he's so expressive with it as well.
Yep.
You can tell when he hates it.
If you need to take a bite, you'll know if he hates it or not. And of course, check out Sports Bar Radio and give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow at Thomas Bryce 2017. I'm sure I haven't asked him, but I'm sure he'll play the show too.
Yep, and we're back live.
Well, that's going to be too late. They won't know. It'll be over by then.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
We were live on Saturday.
We were live on Saturday. Hope you all enjoyed Backlash.
Yeah, we hope you like Backlash. I hope I'm still the champion. I might not be. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Well, Glenn, there's only one left to do, and that's for you to say goodbye.
Goodbye.